Welcome to Wildflower Weekly with Ashley Dare. I'm Ashley, and I work as an Ag and Natural Resources educator in Montgomery County, Indiana. We're back in McCormick Woods this week, and we have a handful of blooms to bring you that are new for the end of June. It's a pretty buggy place out in the woods at this time of year, so a little insect repellent goes a long way when you're looking for wildflowers and other plants. If you're ready, let's go ahead and get started. Let's walk. McCormick Woods is even more spidery than it was last time we were here in week 12. As we welcomed summer last weekend with the solstice, we've seen some new changes in the plants here and even a few new blooms that will catch your eye as you walk along. Let's set the scene. I'm still walking at McCormick Woods, a Purdue-managed property near Purdue's campus. We walked on Thursday, June 25th this week, and the weather was 77 degrees Fahrenheit and it was clear and calm. This property is open to the public for hiking and mountain biking and is partially managed by a local mountain biking organization. On the left, you can see McCormick Woods from the south entrance, adjacent to a golf cart path on the Ackerman Allen Golf Course. We finally got some much-needed rain at the end of last week. We are shifting into a much more average-looking weather pattern for the summer, with more days in the 80s than the 90s, and more chances of rain and thunderstorms throughout. Here's how it works. Each slide has information organized in a particular way. Here is the photo, here is the scientific name, and here is the common name. Below the common name, you'll find some interesting facts about the plant, how it's pollinated, its role in the ecosystem, and more. We've added an update graphic in the bottom right of some of these slides to show you what's happening with a flower we saw in previous weeks. Today we're starting off with an update about Jewelweed, which was first seen back in week 6. This plant, a member of the touch-me-not family, and a close cousin of the impatiens that you might have on your porch or deck in containers, is a plant that you often find in woodlands. Its favorite habitat is the border of wet areas like streams and marshes. The flower has a cornucopia-like shape, which is attractive to bumblebees and hummingbirds. This plant is very similar to its more common cousin, the orange jewelweed. The main difference is that orange jewelweed has bright orange flowers, whereas yellow jewelweed has a pretty flat yellow color. Jewelweed started out small, but had a conspicuous neon green color compared to many of the other plants we were seeing back in week 6. Those plants include phlox, drooping trillium, and wild geranium. We saw flower buds like these forming on jewelweed back in week 12. You might recognize this photo from the title slide of that week. And now jewelweed has been blooming for a little while, maybe as long as a week or so. A new plant for the week is Cercia lutetiana, Enchanter's Nightshade. This is a member of the evening primrose family, so it's not even a true nightshade, and it doesn't have any enchanting characteristics. This is one of the few woodland plants that blooms in the shade of summer. Its flowers are attractive to small bees as the flowers are quite small. The seeds are small and burr-like, meaning that they'll stick to your clothes like a stick-tight. These seeds are easily distributed by animals passing by due to their hairy stickiness. Here's a closer view of the flowers, which are quite small. We have an update about doll's eyes, or white baneberry. Doll's eyes fruits are getting larger as we pass through the month of June. The bulbous parts that you see on the right will turn white as we head towards fall and bring on that more characteristic doll's eye look that we're looking for. An update on the Tradescantia that we found in the woods a few weeks ago. This Tradescantia turns out to be zigzag spiderwort, Tradescantia subaspera. Unlike other spiderworts, zigzag spiderwort is highly adapted to shady woodlands. Most of the other spiderworts that we see in the Midwest are prairie-loving species and need full sun. The blooms on most Tradescantias, whether they're in the woods or not, last only a single day, but the blooming period itself lasts for about 6 weeks in the summer, so this plant will produce a lot of flowers over that time period. It's visited by several types of bees, and the foliage is occasionally browsed by deer. In fact, deer have fed on several of these plants at McCormick Woods. Here's an up-close look at the flower. Flowers are violet and stay open through the morning before closing up at noon. Other species of spiderwort exhibit this same pattern of bloom. An update on fall Solomon seal, Smilacea racemosa. The plant has begun forming fruits, so we wanted to bring you some imagery of those fruits. The fruits are berries that will eventually turn red or striped purple and red. Here's a closer look at those immature berries. These are eaten by birds, such as the ruffed grouse, and mammals, such as the white-footed mouse. Our final plant this week is Ashystrix, bottlebrush grass. The raceme of this plant, with its long spikelets, give the plant the appearance of a bottle brush. This plant prefers part sun conditions, so you can find it in patches of dappled sun in the woods or near the edge of the woods. It's easy to pick out in a crowd because of the way the light tends to catch the spikelets. However, this plant's spikelets can be damaging to livestock, similar in the way that foxtail can damage the mouths of livestock. The spikelets cause mechanical damage to the mouths and digestive tissues of livestock animals because they are sharp and pokey. So if you happen to see this along the trail in the woods and you're horseback riding, avoid letting your horse try to graze on this plant. Here's a closer look at the spikelets in the raceme of this grass. It is an attractive plant, so keep an eye out for it as you walk through the woods this summer. Thanks for watching. Be sure to follow Purdue Extension Montgomery County on Facebook and to follow us on our YouTube page. We hope you enjoy walking in the woods this weekend, and make sure to keep an eye out for any new plants. Feel free to reach out to me for identification. Happy walking!